this next replay in real time.
Jeremy Mayfield in 19 all the way out in the grass. Folks, I've been in these things, and I tell you, TV we just can't do it justice as to what that feels like.
The caution is out at Daytona International Speedway for this grinding crash with 21 laps to go.
Welcome back live on Fox, the Pepsi 400. At least 14 cars involved in the crash. Every driver is okay at this point. No serious injury, including Dale Jarrett in the 88 car, who walked back, and it was a long walk because an ambulance did not appear in the amount of time in which he got out of his car. More on the accident. In fact, let's get a check with Dale Jarrett, and our Matt Yoakum is standing by. Matt?
And Dale Jarrett has finally walked back to his pit here at the head of pit road. And DJ, first off, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, just unfortunate, man. We had a really good car, and I don't know. Maybe it's my fault. I don't know. I was just trying to take my position and get by Mark there, and got hit in the back. And I guess that's just part of this kind of racing. And unfortunately, we didn't make it through the night.
Things happen so fast here, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, you know, you have a caution there at the end, and you know, it kind of bunches everybody up and everybody gets racy, and you know, just a lot of things are going to happen there. So it's unfortunate. Again, we had a really good race car, and I thought we might have a shot to run the top 5. I don't know if we could do anything with Michael and Junior there, but just didn't quite make it.
Now, you had the long stroll back, which got all the fans up on their feet. Why the walk back instead of the ambulance?
There wasn't an ambulance came and picked me up until I'd walked halfway here. So if they can't get there any faster than that, I can get here on my own.
Good news is Dale Jarrett's okay.
All right, he might have driven the big brown truck faster than the ambulance got there. So these are the drivers involved in the crash at this point, officially, those that we have checked. Remember, last night there were 15 cars involved in the Busch race, and at Talladega there were 24 cars involved in the big one there, as the drivers refer to the wreck. 24 cars involved in that wreck, with Jeff Hammond, Chris Myers in our studios here just above Victory Lane. So this happening with about 25 laps to go. And you indicated before when you were down at the cutaway car, certainly with vision and how things were bunched up. This is just part of it. Is there any way to avoid something like this?
Chris, I mean, we keep trying all the time to come up with a solution. You know, we put spotters up there to give everybody an idea. Hey, a man's making a move on you. Hold your line. You've got mirrors. We've got side mirrors. We've got rear view mirrors. We have two-way communication all the way around the racetrack. Yet we still have these big ones because these guys, at the end of a race, they're going to get to where they're pushing and shoving and trying to hold their line and hold that position at all costs. And what happens is when they get together, multi-car accident.
We should mention Michael Waltrip and, of course, Dale Earnhardt Jr. still leading in the DEI cars. But real quick, and as Matt was told by Dale Jarrett, he said maybe it was my fault. It looked like the blocking is what caused that.
Well, it looked like he was trying to, you know, keep the 99 car, Jeff Burton, making a move on him right there late to try to get position. And we saw all night long the guys out front seem to do much, much better.
All right, so the big one has hit. We're about to go green, continuing the finish. You're watching the Pepsi 400 on Fox, and we'll have more from Daytona in just a moment.
The Pepsi 400 on Fox is brought to you by UPS, official delivery company of NASCAR. We want to race the truck. People love the truck.
17 laps to go in the Pepsi 400. Jeff Burton bumping Dale Jarrett triggered this 15-car crash. We can't talk to Burton because he's one of the drivers that's still in the race as we go back to green.
Gordon's up there alongside of Michael. Definitely in the best place he's been in all night to get a lap back. But I tell you, I don't see anybody challenging my brother and Dale Jr. It looks to me like they'll shove each other home first and second. Just depends on which way they want to go.
Let's get an update on Earnhardt from Matt.
Well, Mike, on lap 139, there was some interesting conversation exchange between Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Tony Eury Jr. Dale Dale said, I think I will help Michael win it. It's up to you. But Tony Jr. jumped in, but that's like the Cowboys winning because the Redskins let him. Dale said it's about me and teammates. It's about making DEI the one to beat. Right now, that's what I'm thinking. Tony said, I was thinking of the last race when they tried to beat you, but they couldn't make the run. Dale said, do you want me to win it? Tony said, yes, I want you to win the darn thing. These guys busted their butt all week on this race car. Tony said, if you drive like you can drive, the fans will be on their feet and you will win. Dale said, all right, I'm with you, buddy.
And that's a dilemma to put Dale Jr. in, because Michael has sort of been the bridesmaid, and I'm sure that Michael thinks that it's his turn, as he would say.
I tell you who's not getting any help. Jeff Gordon in that 24 car. He was second when they came by on the restart. He was kicked all the way back to about the 13th position. He has no help from anybody.
I believe the thing that's going to make Dale Jr. either win this race or run second is if he can get somebody to help him. I don't know that he can just pull out and pass Michael all by himself. I just think he's going to have to get somebody good up there behind him to make it happen.
Steve Burns is with Steve Park, whose car was taken out in that crash.
Mike, let's check in. Steve, are you okay? And tell us what happened.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just disappointed, and we're hoping to avoid the big wreck, and sure enough, it happened again. So somebody looked like somebody up front turned Jared around or hit him, or we just got caught up in the melee. So, but we just can't forget it's 4th of July. So even though I'm disappointed with our wreck, I just want to thank all the veterans that are out there and all the guys and the young guys that are across the seas that have given us the opportunity to be free and race these race cars. So, like I said, I'm disappointed for the Pennzoil team, but, you know, our thoughts and prayers go out with all the people.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, thank you.
Tony Stewart has taken his car to the garage area.
Now what you're going to see here, Mike, if Dale Jr. is trying to win this race, he's going to let Michael get out there in front of him a little bit at times. He's going to let Michael beat him down into turn 1. He's going to let Michael get a little gap, pull out there a little bit, and you'll say, oh, Michael's pulling away. What that does, that gives Dale Jr., and if Rusty can help him, a run, to get a run on him down the back, to get a nose under him going into 3.
Darryl, you know, we talk a lot about teammates, where we have 2 sets of teammates in the top 5, but I just don't know that it can happen here with teammates. We've got Ryan Newman, Rusty Wallace. I mean, when you got that many cars, you've got to look after number 1 yourself.
Yeah, I don't think it can help you necessarily, but what you don't want to do is hurt your teammate.
Absolutely.
I mean, you don't want to put yourself in a position where somebody else would beat both of you. So that's what it's just a tough place to be.
Richard Childress used to tell Dale Earnhardt, Mike Skinner, you beat one another if you want to, but don't you help somebody beat my other guy.
That's exactly right, and I think that's what they're kind of faced with right here.
The hungriest driver in that front pack has to be Rusty Wallace. He's never won a Winston Cup points race at Daytona. He does not yet have a top 5 finish this season. 6th at Atlanta is his best. He and Billy Wilburn believe they have a car that can win. He sits 3rd behind the 2 Earnhardt Incorporated Chevrolet.
He's been gaining on Daytona, though, Mike. Last 10 Daytona starts, top 11 finishes in all but one of those races. They've been gaining on it slowly but surely.
And you missed a big one by running up front, but so far, he's missed every big wreck they've had. Talladega, Daytona, he's been ahead of it, or gotten through it somehow. And that's big points days, big points paying days.
Now, if you believe in Lucky Charms, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is on the cover of this week's Sports Illustrated. They devoted a whole issue to the jinx of being on the cover of that magazine. So if he wins, it will certainly upset that apple cart. It's probably about time.
Tell you the truth, I wish you hadn't mentioned it. I had forgotten about that because on the radio show the other morning, they were asking me about that very thing. I said, well, we'll see. And you know what? We'll see.
Become the 10 to go this time. Right now, that top 5 or 6, they look content, but you better look quick. They're not going to be content for long.
Yeah. What's going to happen if somebody tries to make a move here, then it's going to really change everything. Because look how many cars are lined up in a row here.
Ending a caution. Caution is out. There's debris on the racetrack, putting us under caution with exactly 10 laps to go.
Now, where did Gordon go that time?
There he is on the bottom right there. There you see it, but I think they took the caution.
Yes, they took the caution coming to the line.
Yeah, and he knows it now.
Above the white line in turn 2 is where debris is reported. NASCAR, this speedway is so vast, they have observers stationed at various positions around the racetrack to make sure that there's nothing on the track that could provide a problem for one of the cars. And in the interest of safety, if there's especially metal debris on the racetrack, they won't hesitate to throw the caution.
You see Billy Wilbur, the crew chief for Rusty Wallace, talking to one of the NASCAR officials right there. I think one thing we can pretty much guarantee you, the top cars, top 10, 12, 14 cars, they will stay out. Pitting is over with.
We'll be back for the finish of the Pepsi 400 as the screws turn a little tighter here in Daytona Beach. Radio Shack trivia time. In 1988, NASCAR started restricting the engines at Daytona and Talladega. In 58 restrictor plate races, how many times has the pole sitter won?
It's not many. I'm gonna say 5.
Well, not tonight.
I can't think of any.
Twice.
Twice.
Dale Jarrett and Jeff Gordon.
I knew it was.
Jarrett is sidelined and Gordon is a lap down, or rather, yeah, 1 lap down in 24th position, matching his car number. 7 laps to go as they come by under caution, and the restart is waved off this time.
Oh, that's
and
funny.
now, excuse me, now they are going to give 1 to go.
Now we have 23 cars on the lead lap. We're under that 10-lap rule. It will be a what we call a down finger restart. Single file lead lap cars only to the front. No double file restart.
The hardest hit in that big crash was Joe Nemechek, and he's just walked out of the care center. Here's Steve.
Joe Nemechek just out of the care center. Joe, are you okay?
I'm okay. You know, the worst thing, I hurt my foot, got caught up in the pedals and bruised some bones in my feet, but I'm good. You know, I got to say thank God for the Hans. That thing took a heck of a hit. You know, I got turned just right, you know, inches from making it by, and got turned just right, and that thing come back up and hit that wall awful hard. One of the hardest hits I've taken.
Thanks, Joe. Glad you're okay.
Yes, sir.
And Mike and Larry, I think you'll agree, as time goes by, somewhere down the road, people are going to look back and say that Hans device, those safety devices that have been added to the driver, will be the greatest safety invention that we ever came up with.
The Hans is the head and neck support, ties into the helmet that prevents the driver's head from lurching forward in a frontal crash like that one.
We've had a lot of hard crashes this year, and the only injury we've had in Winston Cup, severe injury in Winston Cup Park Busch, really is Jeff Purvis up at Nazareth, and I don't think, you know, the head neck restraint device had nothing to do with that.
Darrell, where do you want to be on this restart? We're going to have 6 laps to race.
I want to be in that car right there. I want to be right where it is.
Michael Waltrip leading his DEI, Dale Earnhardt Incorporated teammate, Earnhardt Jr. Rusty Wallace in a Ford. Right behind Junior. Rusty has never won a Cup race at Daytona.
Dale Jr. has preached teamwork, teamwork, teamwork. DEI, what's good for DEI? And if you're going to preach that, you got to practice it.
4th is Sterling Marlin, the point leader. 5th, the rookie, Wallace's teammate, Ryan Newman. Then Mark Martin, Jimmy Spencer's Dodge that squeaked through that crash. Jerry Mayfield, Bill Elliott, and Todd Bodine, the top 10. Here we come.
If you're going to do it, you got to do it now on this restart. You got to do it right now.
See the group back there about 11th and 12th. Jeff Green and Stacy Compton, the only cars right now stepping out of line, the 30 and the 14.
Rusty had some help. Now he's in a good spot to get a big strong run off the turn 2, but he's sitting in it. He's kind of in the cradle right there. He's got nobody to help him.
But here comes Newman up with Wallace trying.